check. So first thing you're going to do on in cab is you want to put your seatbelt on. Okay, my seat belt is probably mounted secured, not cracked or frayed, and is latched correctly. All right, now we're going to make sure that there is nothing in our overhead storage that is going to fall out and be a danger. So we're going to come straight down to the windshield and mirrors. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no illegal stickers, and they are clean. And the mirrors are adjusted to myself. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure there is nothing on the floor that is in danger of rolling underneath of our pedals. So now we're going to touch our pedals: clutch, brake, fuel pedal, and gear shifter. They are not sticking. I have a fire extinguisher that is fully charged and rated for this vehicle. I have spare fuses that are in the glove box, and I have 3 reflective triangles in the back. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to perform a neutral safety start. So we are going to turn the key to the on position, and we are going to tell him that our ABS light come on and went off. Okay. We're going to let the truck do its cycle. We're going to shove the clutch in, make sure the truck is in neutral, and we're going to perform a neutral safety start. All right, now that we're in neutral and we've performed our neutral safety start, we're going to tell the examiner that our oil pressure rises within seconds. Our water rises as the truck warms. Our tachometer is working. Our volts are reading 14.1. Our fuel is at 3/4. Our DEF fuel is full. And my primary and secondary gauges will be at full pressure at 120 to 140 PSI. So now we're going to come over to the defroster. We're going to make sure it works. So our defroster is working. We're going to come over to our lights now. We're going to turn on our low beam, our high beam, our left turn signal, right turn signal. Our 4-way flashers are working. My windshield wipers are working. The fluid is working and filled to the proper level. All right. I have no more than 2 inches of play in my steering wheel, and I have a city horn and an air horn. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do the brake check. All right. Brake check is very important. There are certain things he has to hear. I will let you know. It is 100%. You cannot miss anything on brake check. Very important. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shove in the clutch. We're going to put the truck into first gear. Okay. We are going to turn the key off. Turn the truck off. We're going to keep our hand on the key until the truck dies. All right. So go ahead, turn the truck off. Keep your hand on the key. Turn the key back to the on position. Okay. Now you're going to release your brakes. All right. Now you're going to tell him, after my initial air loss, I will lose no more than 3 PSI in 1 minute. Okay. But before you do that, before you release the brakes, let me back up a minute. You're going to tell the examiner my air pressure is at 120 to 140 PSI to perform my brake check. Okay. Then you're going to release your brakes, and you're going to tell him, after the initial air loss, I will lose no more than 3 PSI in 1 minute. Okay. Then he's going to count you. He's going to time you on his tablet. So once you get to 60, now you're going to tell him, with my foot applied on the brake, I will lose no more than 4 PSI in 1 minute. Okay. He's going to time you again on the tablet. Once you get to 60, now you're going to tell him, I will pump my brakes down to 55 PSI for the warning buzzer and warning light to come on. So go ahead, pump your brakes down till your warning light and buzzer comes on. All right, warning light and buzzer come on. Now you're going to tell him, I'm going to continue to pump my brakes down between 20 and 45 PSI for my emergency brakes to pop. So go ahead and continue to pump down. Make sure both your brakes pop. All right, so now that your brakes have popped, now what you're going to do is you're going to perform another neutral safety start. We're going to shove in the clutch, make sure the truck is in neutral, and we're going to start the truck up. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our seatbelt off. We're going to head and get out of the truck, and we're going to move our wheel chocks. Okay? We're going to remove those and put them back in the side box. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and get back in the truck. We're going to put our seatbelt back on. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a tug test. Okay? So we're going to tell the examiner we're going to go ahead and raise our air pressure back up to 120 to 140 psi at full pressure to perform a tug test. So you're going to get your RPMs up to about 15, and we're going to air the truck back up. Now's a good time to just take a breath and relax. At this time, you just take your time, relax, and breathe. It does take a couple of minutes for the trucks to air up once you dump all the air out. So just breathe and relax. Alright, so once you get the air back up to 120 to 140 psi at full pressure, alright, what you're going to do next is you're going to go ahead and you're going to shove the clutch in all the way to the floor. You're going to put the truck into first gear. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shove the red in. Okay. With the red in, we're going to tell him we are now going to tug against our truck brakes. Okay. So you're going to let on the clutch real easy. Feel it grab, and you're just going to tug against it real quick, right? Just a couple little tugs. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull the red out, and we're going to push the yellow in. Okay. Now we're going to tell him we're going to tug against our trailer brakes and our fifth wheel connection. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and give it a little tug. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shove in the red, and we're going to pull down our trailer service hand valve. All right. So now we're going to tell him we're going to tug against our trailer service hand valve. We're just going to give it a little tug. All right. So once we do that, we're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a 5-mile-an-hour test. Okay. Truck's still in first gear. We're going to go ahead and let out on the clutch a little bit. We're going to get the truck up a little bit, and we're going to firmly come on the brake. Now we're going to tell him that our brakes work, our speedometer works, and our steering wheel did not shoot to the left or right. Okay? That is everything you need to know for in-cab brake check and tug test. All right? After